Very pleasant good evening to all. This is Ramesh Babu Arja on behalf of Academy of Ham Radio. I would like to express some of the thoughts, the ideas, opinions with regard to ham radio communication in India. My call sign is BU2 RDM. I have received my call sign in the year of 1983 and have been participating in the many disaster communication activities for the last 37 years almost. The first and foremost disaster activity in which I have took part is Godavari flood relief, which happened in the year 1986. The record level of Godavari flood, which destroyed everything. The first and foremost loss is road communication and telecommunication. The first casualty would be generally communication, but unfortunately that is the very required commodity to deal with any disaster. Or otherwise, in the super cyclone, for example, if we take super cyclone in the year 1999, Orissa super cyclone, the gale winds would touch 250 kilometers to 300 kilometers. In fact, we don't have any instrument to calibrate the wind speed. The wind, the meter which is supposed to gauge the wind speed was bugged up due to the impact of the tremendous speed of gale winds. The prestigious cell towers twisted in 360 degrees and we cannot describe about the fate of the telephone lines and electrical poles collapsed totally. We know if one pole collapses due to the impact of the gale winds or some falling of trees, that will pull up the remaining poles also automatically. All the poles will be collapsed in line. The trees were uprooted and since the road coming and blocking the roadways, and the communication is air communication, helicopters. At that time, we were operating in the 1986 in Bhadrachalam, Palavancha. I was there, operated in Palavancha. Our friends were operated from Bhadrachalam, Khammam and Venkatapuram, Vajedu and other places. They were very badly affected. We never expected that much of water delusion will occur. Even the irrigation department engineers also not expected, and since all the communications was failed, the main communication was depend upon ham radio only. And one thing just I forgotten to mention, at that time we have established the ham radio stations on behalf of National Institute of Amateur Radio. I'm also part of the organization at that time. The equipment we were using Japanese ASU FT7+7GX equipment, and mostly our communication depends upon 40 meter. Of course, some of the friends are also having 80 meter antenna also. By evening up to 6:37 was communication is okay, but in the evening particularly, suddenly we experienced a loss of communication due to the skip conditions. The delay normally useful for the radio communication, 40 meter particularly, disappears due to the variation in the temperature and as a result of which we have to decrease the frequency, that is 3.5 megacycles. To operate in that frequency, we need to increase the wavelength, that is 80 meter. Unfortunately, I don't have the 80 meter antenna. It's a very big antenna when compared with 40 meter, double to the 40 meter wavelength. So we are not having the facility of 80 meter antenna. So I started talking in 7 megacycles only, giving general call. Even I have launched the communication with the Bhadrachalam station. Immediately the officers were with me, which includes the chief secretary, and others are also the disaster commissioner Krishna Rao garu. Others, why very big officers were also anxiously waiting here, since the sub collector Bhadrachalam and the collector also stuck up there himself in Bhadrachalam. All these officers, they have to take the concurrence, they have to discuss with the collector, who is the district in charge, to oversee the communications, to accelerate the relief and rescue operations, in order to immediately establish the communication link to the collector. Since there is no other means, we have in between launched the communication, and immediately they asked me to pass one message. Immediately collector has been asked to summon, come back to Kottagodam by hook or crook, by catching a helicopter or something like that, using ladders and something ropes. But I have to pass this message. How I have to pass this message? Since the delay is disappeared, only the option is 80 meter. Since I don't have the 80 meter antenna, I have continuously giving a CQ call. To my fortunate enough, somebody was there in Bangalore. He came up on the radio. I requested him, please kindly help me, since I am unable to communicate with Bhadrachalam. Maybe that Bangalore stations can communicate simultaneously Bhadrachalam and Kottagodam. Since he is a far off station, it is possible for him. Shortest distance may experience skip distance, but the stations like Mangalore and Bangalore, they can manage to communicate in 40 meter due to the peculiar conditions. I requested them to pass the message. Collector has to come back to report Kottagodam to discuss to take a very important, crucial decisions in order to strengthen accelerating relief and rescue operations. And also the second message is that they wanted to know the latest present flood level in Bhadrachalam. So these are the two messages I have been asked to communicate. I took the relay stations. Sometimes what happens, maybe Kottagodam and Bhadrachalam, they may not have the communication due to the skip conditions. Up to 7 p.m. we have continuously had a communication, but suddenly it disappeared due to the skip conditions. I asked to the Mangalore station to help me, and Mangalore station, they have successfully passed this message, and it happens in ham radio. So it is a global communication. We will get help from any other station. Sometimes, sometime back, what happened? It's all happened in somewhere else in the 1983 or 84. At that time, Vijayawada, we are having Vijaya spin-off mills. There some workers were working. There was some problem related to their rights and some other reasons. They went on strike, hunger strike. Continuously they were on strike. But so they have took the option, violent option. After continuously conducting strikes and rallies for more than 15 months in vain, they started taking a path of violence, non-violence. While they have disrupted the telecommunication lines were snapped and attacked the officers' quarters. Surprisingly, they may not be knowing the quarters the official quarters, one ham was there, that is B2 KPR Pethuraja. He immediately came on radio, since the telecommunication lines is cut, to inform the officials for the immediate help. Because what's going to happen, we don't know, because the employees are aggressive, anything may happen. So immediately they need some, it's going to be a very big law and order issue. Some hundreds of employees on strike, they're all very aggressive mood. Anything may happen. Immediately they need to inform the officials, their officials, particularly the chairman, Vijaya Spilling Mills chairman, was there in Hyderabad at that time. Since telephone lines were snapped, immediately, so he was giving a emergency call, that is pan, emergency call in radio telephony. 3 repetitions of the group, pan. This is B2 KPR. Keep on giving the call continuously for some time. Nobody was there at that time. Luckily, some station far off, quite a far off station is Philippines, responded, but she is in quite far off distance. But you may ask, he can also help. He can also immediately take the message, content of the message, and pass it to the police commissioner office, or otherwise the DGP, Director General of Police. In those times, urban district, Vijayawada was the urban district. So they can communicate to the DGP also. At that time, DGP's office was there in Hyderabad. Immediately, they can also do something, because once the message is out, that can be redirected from anywhere. So, but anyway, still he was also waiting, since there is no option. If it proves no help is coming from locally, then we have to take that course of action. And so after some time, some ham in Bangalore, and luckily some ham from Hyderabad. His call sign was Kumar, who is a B2 Kilo Hotel Kilo, who was at the time used to operate on his old equipment, heat kit, hot water, wall version transceiver, which is having a facility of telephone patch-up. Kumar, he was working in some Alvin company. So I still remember his call sign and handle, and then he informed each and everything, that the employees of Vijaya Spinning Mills in aggressive mode, they snapped the telephone lines and they are surrounded the official quarters of Vijaya Spinning Mills. And then somehow, please kindly give his ideas to convey this message to his chairman at the time, who was in Hyderabad. So Kumar has given a patch-up telephone lines, through telephone he has given a patch-up connection directly to the chairman of Vijaya Spilling Mills, using ham radio is the media directly. So Pethuraja directly had a communication to KPR of Rajapalam, now presently staying in Rajapalam. He has passed the entire message, and thus it has reached to the chairman. Once the message has reached to the chairman, he will take care of each and everything. Immediately, he has taken the issue, discussed with the Director General of Police. In turn, he has passed the instructions to the Urban District Police Superintendent, was the very dynamic officer, and immediately he took no time to dispatch the 6th Battalion, normally which will be situated in Mangalagiri, nearby Vijayawada. Normally they will not be interested. If any crucial situation comes, very big moment, then only their services will be utilized. But they have been asked to move immediately, and the police control officials are also asked to move. They were not properly dressed also with their bunions and then knickers. They immediately they landed their Vijayas building means by police vans with a numerous force, and those employees who were on the hunger strike surprised and shocked to see the police force like they are going to they have immediately came there with a massive force. These employees were unaware of all these things. What happened? Such a magnificent police force is coming and like a military action. Immediately they have controlled everything. Situation has came into the control, as a result of which very big disaster have been averted. This one thing I would like to inform you comes under urgency signal. It is a signal, a person who is in trouble, whose it means a station which is in very big danger. It's a safety of a person or a ship, aircraft, or any mobile vehicle, and also there is a provision with regard to safety of a person. This signal can be utilized. He has used it, and as a result of which averted a big loss to the company and also the people of getting attacked by the furious mob. This is the incident. I would like to tell you, ham radio communication plays a vital role, whether it is a disaster, peacetime, or in wartime. That's what I would like to share now. With this, I will take leave.